In this video, I'm going to talk through some of the essential components of the syllabus, and then I encourage you to spend some time reading through it yourself so that you have a clear understanding of both what the core assignments are and the core learning goals, as well as some of the key content that we'll be covering over the course of this semester. So at the top of the syllabus, you can find my information. Um, I am always available to schedule a time to meet, whether in person in my office in Chafee 714 or via Zoom. So please just email me if you'd like to set up a time to meet. And I have a Zoom link right here for office hours that we can use if you'd like to meet virtually. Um, the first page of the syllabus provides some of the basic information that if you've taken other TESOL BDL courses, you should be familiar with. The course structure running from Wednesday to Tuesday, which gives you the weekend time to do readings, engage with the discussion forum, and work on assignments, with most things due either on Sundays or Tuesdays. The course description, which situates this course as our advanced methods course that is aimed at connecting second language acquisition theory with practice. So kind of building upon the things that you have been learning throughout this program so that you can begin to design a culturally and linguistically responsive unit plan, so you can lead an advocacy-oriented professional development workshop and work on your final paper for the course and for the as a culmination project for this program in which you are engaging in research and putting your action plan into practice. The student learning outcomes articulate some of these ideas more specifically related to objectives. And then here you see that there are 2 required texts, and then there's a range of different readings and viewings that will be available on Brightspace. The first text is Pauline Gibbons' book, Scaffolding Language, Scaffolding Learning. I have been using this book for many years, and it's an incredible resource, very practice focused, while also still rooted in theory and research. I think you'll find it to be really a useful text. And then the second, Honingsfeld and Dove's Co-Planning, which provides a really nice overview of different ways to connect language and content learning in the classroom, as well as some kind of more advanced methods around how to think about co-planning and collaboratively planning to support multilingual learners. As we continue, you see the course schedule. Again, similar structure that you've seen in other courses, with Wednesdays being the beginning of each class week, Sundays when your first posts are due, and then Tuesdays when comments on at least 2 of your classmates' posts and most other assignments are due. And here you see the breakdown of grading for the course. A good portion of the course is based on your engagement and participation, and in particular, your participation in the weekly discussion forum. That is the primary way in which we are engaging with one another, since it is an asynchronous course. And so I look to see how you are participating within different activities that are embedded within the modules or within each week, and how you're participating in the weekly discussion forum. And then we have these other major assignments, some of which I've outlined in my introductory video, so I won't go into too much detail here, and you have more details below. The praxis quizzes, which are really just a way for you to be preparing for the type of questions you'll encounter in the praxis. And then these 3 major projects that are part of this course: the professional development project, the culturally and linguistically responsive unit plan, and then your problem of practice paper or the advocacy research paper. And so you can find more details about those below. I will have a video on each of these different major assignments as we get into the course. You can also find information in Brightspace under the assignments tab. You can find the assignment description and the rubrics there in more detail as well. So I'm going to kind of skim through these, but please spend some time reading, and you'll see that each of these assignments has been structured in a way that allows you to slowly work on them throughout the course and get feedback on these elements at different points in time. And here we have some information about the Classroom Cafe, which is a space in the discussion forum where you can post any questions that you have that you think also might be relevant for other students, and I will answer them there so that anybody can see those. If you have a question that you think is specific to you, of course, go ahead and email me that question, and I'll respond via email, or we can set up a time to talk. And As you go throughout here, you'll see different syllabus statements related to the course. I do want to draw your attention to the generative AI policy, which is surrounding the way in which I expect you to engage with generative AI if you choose to. So in general, I often advise students to try not to rely heavily on generative AI in the work you do for this course, as it takes away the learning process for you to engage in that. Although I do recognize that there can be some ways that generative AI can be used as a thought partner that are helpful. If you are using generative AI, the policy for this course is that you are really clear about how it was used, including the prompts you used, the specific ways in which the device was used as a thought partner. And those should be outlined anytime you are providing any assignment that was in part generated through an AI program. And if you are concerned about how to do this, again, you can always just not use generative AI, or you are always welcome to reach out if you have questions. But I do want you to know that this is a policy that I've added to the course to reflect our changing technological world. All right. As we continue, you can see there's information about disability accommodations. Please don't hesitate to look at the website or email if that applies to you. And then let me know if you have a plan or as early as you can in the semester so we can discuss any accommodations. And again, you see others important syllabus information and statements. Most of you should already have TaskStream if you are a master's or a certification candidate, but here's the TaskStream information. If your TaskStream account is no longer valid for whatever reason, you need to set it up again, or if for some reason you did not set it up, that information is there. And finally, moving into the course schedule. So what you see in the second half of the syllabus is the detailed overview of what the course looks like in terms of the content that's covered, the detailed topics, and then different readings and assignments. You'll see some of these areas are highlighted. That reflects our unit plan project. So those are the different color-coded sections of the unit plan that you'll be working on for that given week. And you'll see that those colors align with the unit plan template to try to make that easy for you as you slowly work on that throughout the course. And I think it's fairly straightforward. All of this is also available in Brightspace. So each week in Brightspace, you'll see this similar information, but this just gives it to you in a nice table format. And then finally, there are references at the end for the two course texts and for any additional readings or viewings that we have. You can copy and paste these directly and put them into your discussion posts or into a paper. So you have the APA format of the citation right here that you can use. So that is everything. And as I said, I didn't go into deep detail here about the major assignments, but I do discuss those a bit in my introductory video. And certainly as we move into the course, we'll spend some time looking at those major assignments as you begin to start working on them. So I look forward to having you in class and hope that this was helpful as a way to begin to dive into our course together.